It's not always easy because we have a lot of smoke and mirrors in the way and a lot of shame and guilt holding on, but it's super simple and you don't need some $10,000 cold plunge tank and you don't need any fancy water or whatever. You just need you. Welcome back to one's journey of unwinding the mind and, of course, your daily microdose. Now, tune in to the latest episode of One's Journey. Today, I want to talk about, something really fun. I want to talk about the number one biohacking technique. Yes, the number one biohacking technique. And it is so simple, but it's not always easy. But first, I want to talk about biohacking. We need to understand biohacking. It has become this massive fad in the world today. And I'm going to read you a definition I found online because the definition in the dictionary is different than what the new mainstream definition of the fad is. So what is biohacking? Biohacking can be described as citizen or do-it-yourself biology. For many biohackers, this consists of making small, incremental diet or lifestyle changes to make small improvements in your health and well-being. Biohacks promise anything from quick weight loss to enhanced brain function. Oh my gosh, sounds amazing, right? We can do these tiny, small things and we can change the way in which we show up in this illusion. Okay, great. So the biohacking that has become a fad, again, has become another way to utilize an ego-created illusion, which is our vessel, our body. We know this is fake. We know this is just a holographic image that is operated by the mind. But then we're going to do external things to it to impact the biology, which in fact is part of the illusion too, and then have more beautiful outcomes. Way cool. But I have something that is not of this illusion that will literally biohack everything. Will literally change your life. And if you look at old pictures of me, you can see it's changed mine. I look much different. I'm a smaller size. My skin is much healthier. I radiate. I'm happy. I have endless amounts of energy. And guess what it is? It's called forgiveness. Yes, folks. It is forgiveness at the level of the mind. And if you've watched any of my videos, you know forgiveness at the level of the mind is different than ego level forgiveness. Ego level forgiveness, again, is you hurt me, it's okay, I forgive you, but I still know that you hurt me. No. Forgiveness at the level of the mind is realizing that none of it happened, and it's just a projection of the mind acting out its own shame and guilt within. So forgiveness at the level of the mind literally releases all weight. And when I say literally, I mean that, I have not done biological testing or anything, but I have witnessed in myself that by releasing the weight, my body, the weight through forgiveness, literally starts to release weight. It starts to look lighter. It starts to look healthier. It starts to operate. I feel younger today than I ever have. Literally aging backwards like Benjamin Button. Because I believe forgiveness at the level of the mind is the ultimate biohack. But the interesting thing is, when you begin to practice forgiveness at the level of the mind, you're not seeking a biohack because you know your body is not real. It's of this illusion. But it also makes it a lot easier to show up in this illusion or what you believe you're showing up as in this illusion. I literally think too, when we can't sleep at night, so that's another technique people are doing, is biohacking to get better sleep. But when you can't sleep at night is because of the weight you're carrying in your mind. Many people are suffering from lack of sleep or insomnia, inability to sleep because of the anxiety, the stress they carry, the anger, the sadness, the lack of forgiveness they are carrying around. So your monkey mind is going crazy. It is constantly running in the forefront. So again, another ultimate biohack is forgiveness. And aging and wrinkles are a representation of the dying process. And I'm not saying by practicing forgiveness at the level of the mind that, all of a sudden your wrinkles will go away or you won't have them. But the difference is you don't place weight on them. So they don't matter. And I truly believe, and will continue to watch me age, that when you release weight more and more, I think wrinkles show up because we have so much weight on, oh my gosh, I'm going to die one day, I'm getting older, oh my gosh, I'm getting older, I'm 40 now, oh my gosh, I'm going to get older and older and older. So we're constantly holding it in our mind. Again, will these things still occur? Possibly. And they may have already been written into the script, but the difference is you don't acknowledge them, you don't place any weight on them. It just is. And when we go into the new movement of biohacking, there is tons of different biohacking things. Tons of them. And people are placing immense weight on the biohacking's ability to change their physical appearance. When again, in fact, that started at the level of their mind first. And they're seeking salvation in something. So when you're seeking salvation in that thing, we know what happens. The other shoe eventually drops. So it's not long-term and sustainable. But my number one biohacking technique is forgiveness at the level of the mind, which is long-term sustainable, and there is no other shoe to drop. It's a continuation on to waking up and remembering that you're in the house of God and your internal happiness and peace and forgiveness. And when you remember that here within this illusion still is when all weight is released. Your body literally can't exist anymore because so much weight has released. I don't know what your thoughts are about this. I think the biohacking is a really interesting movement. And again, it goes into a video I recently recorded about personal development versus spirit development. It's another personal development movement, and that's why there's so many different options, and it's so chaotic and it's overwhelming, and it almost seems unobtainable to people who don't have tons of time, like cold plunges or, Wim Hof breathing. People say like, I don't have time for that. And that's a video for another day. We all have the same amount of time. That doesn't really exist. But in fact, that's a representation when someone says that it's chaotic. That it's chaotic, but forgiveness is simple. It's not always easy because we have a lot of smoke and mirrors in the way and a lot of shame and guilt holding on, but it's super simple and you don't need some $10,000 cold plunge tank and you don't need any fancy water or whatever. You just need you. You just need you and the ability for you to release the weight. So again, number one biohacking technique I have decided is forgiveness. Again, I am not a scientist. This is not clinically proven, but to me, it's been physically proven. Let me know, what do you think about biohacking? And again, biohacking, all those things can be fun. I've done cold plunges and everything else, but do not place weight and do not seek some sort of salvation out of it. And just know it's another walking stick, and the true goal here isn't to manipulate your body because your body isn't real. Share of any ideas of upcoming videos you have, and remember you're worth it. Tons of love and light. Bye-bye.